newest addition to the Pistons who's getting the most minutes and the most hype has been Dennis Schroder, who is filling the role. Schroder! He's filling the role that Marcus Sasser was previously in. And it's funny because Sasser, when he came in the garbage time against Chicago in that first game, he tore it up. He went 4 for 4 from 3. I think he had 17 points, shooting lights out. I just think Sasser was playing the wrong role and getting forced, like we were talking about with Ron, where Ron hasn't been pushed to be extending himself too much. When Ivy went down, I think Sasser got asked to play a role that's not his role too much. And he had some opportunities to do so. It was just like a little bit much. But now, hot and readiest player, baby. Let him come in like that. Whereas Schroder has more of a history of being a guy who can distribute very well and who is a pick and roll monster and who has had great moments this year. He's not shooting so great right now, but the trade deadline was like wild for him. It's for sure going to, right?
He's throwing dimes. He's not turning the ball over too much. He's doing what you need him to do right now. And I think there's only room to grow. I remember especially watching him as a Laker play in the playoffs against the Warriors and just really give Curry hell. And when you can give a guy like that trouble, like you're gonna be in a pretty good spot. Plus, like he just brings a different flavor. You know, he's German. You've got the Fontecchio.
Let's move on from that. We have some Europe.
They're Europeans. They're both Europeans. That's
we
all.
are European.
That's all. They just happen to be Europeans. But no, it's like a nice international flavor. And so we thought, what better way to make him feel welcome in the D than to go over some of his highlights? But we're going to do it not as ourselves, but as German auteur Werner Herzog.
Here is Das Highlights with Dueling Werners.
In the 2023 playoffs against the Golden State Warriors, Dennis guards Stephen closely, licking his chops like a ravenous coyote on the prowl. By the time Curry sees him coming, it's already too late. Schroder swipes the ball with ease like a New Orleans pickpocket, stealthily robing drunken tourists making their way down Bourbon Street.
How was that?
That's fucking crazy.
I didn't spend all morning working on that. That's fine.
Wait, that was you? I thought that was Werner in there.
I didn't spend all morning getting in contact with Werner's people, coordinating, recording audio. You know, it's a whole process. But you've got one too, right?
Oh yeah, I've got some. I've seen Werner in there. Life can be a tanking, hellish nightmare with no answers provided to you, a seemingly random series of events, and sometimes an individual will refuse to accept that reality that he's living in, say, the Brooklyn Nets organization that has tanked even with a big three of their own, while several players had dreams in their deepest hopes of becoming heroes and champions, but life is unforgiving in such a way. And Dennis Schroder is a player who believes in himself to break free from this miserable reality. In this game against the hopeful Indiana Pacers, they were living with the reality that their team, formerly Eastern Conference champion losers, were even bigger losers at the beginning of the regular season, and Schroder drives to the hole against them, much shorter, being only 6'1", and scores a bucket. And in their disdain and their hopelessness and their upset lives, they casually throw the ball in, and that is bad math by Ben Mathurian. But Schroder, who distributes to his teammate the good shooting Cam Johnson, is also unable to connect because he is shooting into a hopeless, endless, disappointing void of dark nightmares.
We've all shot it at him.
A little rambly there by Werner.
But that's his style. That's his, and I feel like he should do more games.
Absolutely. I mean, he does documentary work. We should have, sure.
Yeah.
It'd be fun if we ever get onto the watch along stuff. We should do just watching games as Werner.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Narrating the game. Give me another one, Mickey.
So there was this one crazy, like half court shot that he hit. I want to. Oh.
With precious moments left in the heft, Dennis throws up a prayer from the logo. Notice how he turns away, unconcerned with the outcome, like a resigned assassin, absent-mindedly pulling the trigger. Despite performing the impossible feat, young Mr. Schroder is not proud of his buzzer-beating heave, for he failed to call bank.
You've really got some great some great cadence as him. I love it. It's so fucking funny.
This was fun to do.
Okay. I'm only gonna do one more, if that's okay, because I've got two clips, but this one is the better one for
me with it.
Mm-hmm. The Chicago Bulls have found themselves to be in the realm of madness and insanity, continuing to do the same thing year after year, expecting different results in Chicago, but only seeing the greatest fantasies fall apart like Michael Jordan, leaving them in the lurch. In this game, they had a glimmer of hope as the ball crossed over half court, but newly acquired point guard Dennis Schroder dives back and in a fit of desperation tosses the ball back. Unfortunately, as life is not full of rewards but a series of random events and occurrences, the ball winds up back with Chicago, who feels that maybe this is their chance to break free and achieve some success, only to discover that they are as hopeless and in as sad a state as all of humanity finds themselves, slowly approaching death and destruction and the nature of the game as they toss blindly down the lane, and Dennis Schroder knocks the ball away and then off of Chicago, dashing their hopes on the rocks like an eagle carrying a tortoise, hoping for a meal only to have it eaten apart by resting sharks.
Amazing.
Okay.
I love the nature allegories. I feel like that's so his thing.
Yeah.
You know, the hawk throwing the turtle on the rock. I felt that.
Shout out to Terry Pratchett in the book Small Gods. I might have been influenced by that a little bit, but here we are.
Big wreck. I got one more.
You got one more. All right, let's do this one more.
This next clip is not so much a highlight as a living document of swagger personified. As he dribbles in the half court, Dennis taunts his opponent like a schoolyard bully, all the while keeping the ball on a string like so many yo-yos.
This has been my favorite segment that we've ever done. Like, there's been a lot of fun, and it appears that the chat has left us. Well, I guess
this is just for you, baby. This is just for the love of the game.
That's fine by me. We're gonna have to have Malik Beasley on here at some point. Eat his own shoe. We'll get Malik Beasley eating his own shoe.
Great reference. Oh my god. Where are all the orders film heads at?
We're tossing out literature, we're tossing out film. I think our basketball background and our literary backgrounds are really making themselves evident. But I'm personally very excited for Schroeder to be like with this team. I think with like a little more time, he is going to be like a pretty significant part of the squad. And like he played some with Cade and they connected pretty well. I think Cade hit him for a 3-point assist and he had a drive that went up for a bucket as well. The shooting will go up. The assist numbers are big. He's just a force. And defensive, we saw the hustle. He's already, oh, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say that he's already a dog, much like Detroit, where packs of wild pit bulls roam the street, discarded like trash, much like Detroit's roster, and like they hope the Bulls in Chicago will be in the following seasons. But Schroeder is a dog. Like that's already in him. We have dogs up and down this squad. So happy he's part of it. So happy that the team's doing well. And I'm so happy we just get to watch this friggin' team. This has been so nice, man.
Yeah, I'm excited about Dennis, and I agree. I think that
perhaps he has found a home in Detroit.
I don't know how we would say Detroit. That's what I wanted.